Hello. So I haven't recorded, sat down to like film a video or anything in a few weeks, I guess, in a little while. And that's mainly due to just being, I guess, busy, just with life and uni work, which I will get into in a minute. But in theory, you won't notice if you're watching each week. Like there shouldn't be a gap in me uploading anything because I have a backlog of videos, and currently while I'm recording this, I haven't uploaded any of them. I'm on my Easter break from university at the moment, so the idea is that I'm going to upload while I'm on this Easter break, and then I will continue to upload the videos that I have throughout this like last portion of me being at uni, and then I should be able to keep recording some over the summer because I should have more time. Yeah, so the stuff that's been keeping me busy. So yeah, uni work mostly is the biggest thing. That's just, we had mostly one project that took up a lot of time, which is now handed in, but there's going to be another one that I'm foreseeing taking up a lot of time when we go back after Easter. So, but yeah, there was a lot of work going on, so I didn't really have time to do much of anything other than, in fact, even like my other uni project, I struggled to find time to do while doing that one. And the project was a picture book, which was exciting. I was like, I kind of knew that it was something that we would be doing in second year, and I've kind of been waiting all year to do it. It's kind of summer first year as well. I was just really excited to. It's something that I've wanted to do for a long time, is to experiment with trying to do a picture book, but I hadn't quite gotten around to, and I didn't feel confident in it, and I didn't have that push, and obviously that was the push. So it just kind of dumped me into the project. So yeah, I've really enjoyed it. Like, I haven't finished it yet. I'm not sure when I'll finish it. I'm going to finish it. I'm definitely going to finish it. I've got a few illustrations done and mostly the cover. But yeah, I'm not sure entirely what I'm going to do with it yet. Like, there's a competition that I'm going to enter, I think, with it, and I don't know, like, even if nothing comes of the competition, which, I mean, obviously, I'm not going to go into it expecting anything really to come out of it, but also at the same time being, I don't know, excited just to have something to enter for it, and, I can dream. But yeah, if, like, after then, I don't know, like, maybe submit to a publisher. I don't know yet. But if not, I will self-publish it somehow at some point when I finished it, which in theory should be over the summer. Working on it, doing the research for it, looking at lots of different picture books was really interesting. I really enjoyed, just looking at, I don't know, I like, tutors introduced me to some that I'd never, like, some illustrators, like, who do children's books and stuff, or I should say picture books, really, that I hadn't come across before, which was really exciting to find some new illustrators that were inspirational. But as well, I have, like, a very small collection of children's books, picture books, and there are more that I like, but if I bought every illustrated book or whatever that I liked, I would be in debt. So yeah, I have to limit myself. Yeah, looking at those has been interesting. Specifically, I guess, one that isn't a new one but that I'm really inspired by is Isabel Arsenal. I think, I'm not entirely sure how you say her name. She's illustrated a lot of books. I think she's written some as well. I first found out about her when I heard about Jane the Fox and Me, which is like a graphic novel more than a picture book. And I still haven't read that. I saw the illustrations and thought that looks gorgeous and the story looks interesting and I want to read it, and I don't know why I do this. I'm constantly doing that and then it takes me forever to read anyway. Yeah, and throughout the night, just loved her work. And there's like a few that, as I say, I was introduced to that I'm not going to try and say their names, because I will just slaughter them and it won't be helpful. If I think about it, I will try and put some of the illustrators' names in the description section thing for the video. So if you're interested in picture books, maybe you haven't heard of these people either and that'll be interesting. But yes, like some of them do more, as one of my tutors called it, like more experimental, I guess, picture books. They're just really interestingly done. Like some of them, there are ones with pages in that are transparent, so like tracing paper or something, with like images on that you can place over the image and then things like appear and disappear when this thing's drawn on the transparent paper. I'm bad at describing things like that, but yeah, just the content and the way that they're done. I guess there's a lot of like metaphorical, kind of surreal kind of imagery, and yeah, I just really enjoyed looking into them and just being inspired by this different thing. There's one, I can't remember the author, but the book is called Migrant, and it's a gorgeous book. Again, I will try and like put some things in the description so that you can go and have a look at the illustrations and stuff because they're gorgeous. But yeah, there's such a, I don't know, there's just a lot of inspiration there for me, as well as like the illustration style, like the stories and the, like, some of them are very poetic, rather than being like a traditional story format, I guess, and being told in a traditional story way. I mean, for a long time I've been interested in the idea of picture books for any age, you know, like all ages, like, because I remember listening to or reading an interview with Sean Tan like years ago when I first found his stuff, and yeah, it was really interesting hearing him talk about how he approached picture books and how he thought of them not as like children's books and exclusively for children, but as things with stories that you could appreciate at any age. And I feel like a good picture book can do that. Like, I'm not talking really about picture books for like really young kids that are like teaching them to spell and that sort of thing, but like a good storybook with a, you know, good picture book that tells a story. I feel like if it can be appreciated on different levels and at different ages, I think that really makes a good picture book. It's what, I guess, if I do more picture books, and it's kind of what I aspired to do with the one that I created recently, is something that, yeah, would be interesting and inspiring or educational or any of the things on those different levels, like for children, but as well for adults, for older people. In terms of styles of of sketchbooks and the illustrations going back to. That's kind of what started me doing what you see me doing here, which is attempting to do more mixed media kind of work, I guess, because I don't generally, I mean, I use like watercolors and colored pencil a little bit, but a lot of my work traditionally, historically, has been like either just done in pencil or just done in ink, or just like watercolor with like ink or pencil outline, you know, with the for the line work, and it's been very controlled, I guess, and I'm more interested in playing at the minute with, I don't know, trying to do some works that's more based on, I don't know, like mark making, and less on details and doing things precisely and being really controlled and stuff, because I've been drawn to a lot of illustration that's more like that, that's loose and has these gorgeous marks. If you know Isabel Arsenal's work, you'll know that her work, there's a lot of like loose mark making, and yeah, it's just it's really nice. And it's interesting because I feel like a lot of artists I look at that do, I don't know, like the mixed media and looser kind of stuff, do quite, how to put it, like full page illustrations and like a lot of layers, and like, I don't know how to put it, kind of like this really dense like work. And what I do is usually quite minimal, even though it's got like details and it's quite precise, it's more minimal. There's less lines, there's less stuff. It's very concentrated on what needs to be there. So I feel like with this image that I'm working on here, I did kind of overdo it. It's not something that I think it's not a style that I would use in something that I was doing. Not as it is. I think what I want to do is something that's more stripped back, but keep some of the mark making and using the different materials. I think here I didn't use like a ton of different materials. When I say like mixed media, I guess I used like watercolor, gouache and colored pencil, I believe. So it wasn't like a ton of different materials, but it was more than I guess I often use. I did do, not that long back, a piece that, again, I used watercolor, gouache and colored pencil, like the same materials, but was more, I guess, in my kind of style, in the sense that it was a bit more minimalistic and it was more controlled. I don't know, I'm struggling to, I guess, figure out a way of doing what I do, but doing it in a way where I can incorporate these different things like looser mark making and different materials, and it not being so precise and controlled and all of those things that it usually is. But yeah, hopefully I can I can incorporate some of those elements that I'm not like at all really very comfortable with. I have to say, even though I'm not comfortable with doing that sort of thing, I enjoyed doing this piece. I don't know, part of it was like not knowing exactly where it was going. The exploration of different marks I could make, the exploration of how the different media can work together, all of those things I did really enjoy. I also really do enjoy like making looser marks. There's something freeing about the process of just making these marks without doing them, you know, and like the mark coming more from your arm rather than your wrist, and your like finger movements, and like just from it comes from a different place. So that yeah, I do enjoy it. It's just, as I say, figuring out how to incorporate some of those things into what I do in a way that feels me. Mixed media is something that, and painting in general, that I struggle to keep up with doing on a regular basis, just because it has the setup time and the clean away time, and it's not necessarily the time, it's more the energy. And because for me with depression, it's like the idea of how much effort something takes to get started doing really impacts whether I feel like I have the energy to do it, even though if I can make myself set the stuff up and everything, sometimes, you know, it's not more difficult than like sitting down with a pencil actually doing. It's just the fact that, yeah, there is that time and effort required, the energy required to set everything up, to get the paints out, get the water, get the cloth, yeah, just set everything up and get it. And the more materials I have, the worse. So mixed media is obviously like a lot more than that. So yeah, it's difficult for me to get into. So I'm going to try and like keep practicing with it because I want to, and I don't like giving in to myself. So yeah, I'm trying to keep going with like experimenting with this stuff, and I'm hoping that is something that I will continue with. Like I have over the years, very on and off, but I feel like not enough to get to a point where I feel comfortable or overly comfortable with what I'm doing. And when I go back to uni, it might be difficult, even though like I'm doing art at uni, you know, so you'd feel like I'd have a lot of time to do art, but it's obviously like uni projects, and I'm always like really hesitant to try something completely new for a project. I have this feeling of fear because other people are going to see it and I don't want them to judge me. Yes, that's a little bit terrifying. Plus you know, you've got like your grade riding on it, and yeah, so it's always really difficult to try anything like really out there and challenging. But I try to like put little bits of new things in because I'm like, this is why I'm at uni, to develop as an artist and an illustrator. It's why I came to uni, and if I don't put that stuff in, it's kind of like, what are you doing? So yeah, I'm gonna try. But even outside of the projects, I'm hoping to like find a little bit of time, just a little bit, to do a bit of more personal work, you know, if it's just experimenting and that sort of thing. I'm gonna try to. Yeah, I mean, with that, I'm gonna try and keep making videos, hopefully throughout while I'm actually at uni a little bit, but if not, then I will continue making them whenever I can. And as I say, I've got like a backlog of videos at the moment, because I haven't been uploading them because it's slightly terrifying to think about uploading them, and because I wanted like to be a few videos in head, so that I could try and keep to some kind of schedule, and if I did miss a little bit, then yeah, I was still keeping to that schedule of uploading, and there wasn't so much pressure, I guess. And not pressure from anything external, just pressure from myself. I'm going to try and keep uploading and try and keep making art more consistently, and yeah, hopefully progress a little bit more in a little bit faster, like at a steady pace. It has to be at a steady pace because I get impatient when I feel like I want it. I want this new element. I want to incorporate this new element to what I'm doing, and I want to become more. I want to be at a certain place with using these different medias together and stuff, and it's hard to have the patience to wait to do the experimenting, but I'm trying to enjoy the experimenting for once in my life, because usually I just stress myself out trying to make something look a certain way faster than is humanly possible, for me at least. Yeah, I'm trying to take my time with it and just enjoy the process of it. And yeah, and I think that's what I'm going to hopefully be using these videos for a little while, just to carve out that bit of time to experiment with something, experiment with like different medias or whatever it is, and yeah. So hopefully you enjoyed this, listening to me and watching this, or drawing, or I always imagine like people drawing along or whatever, like with, I guess it's like hence the titles, like Draw With Me, because just chilling out, drawing, listening to me, because why not? Hopefully I'm saying something interesting. Yeah, so I'm going to do that. And as always, again, any thoughts about any of the stuff that I rambled on about, you know, picture books if you're interested in them, if you're an illustrator or an artist, if you're a writer, if you're whatever, or mixed media, or just anything that I talked about, yeah, please comment something, your thoughts and stuff. I would love to hear, yeah, your thoughts. Wow, awkward outro. Okay, I never know how to end. I'm really awkward. But yeah, so that's it for this video. So I will hopefully see you in the next one.